Well, let's return to one of our lead stories where the president says its decision to temporarily ban Twitter wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to the social media network's deletion of President Buhari's tweets, but that the Twitter has long been accused of spreading misinformation and fake news, which can have real-world violent consequences. And joining me now live to discuss this is John Paul Akinduro, digital consultant and special advisor to former Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko. Good to have you on the news at 10 tonight. So let's begin with this now. What do you say about attempts to regulate the social media? Is it possible in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's actually not a good one for Nigeria, for our democracy, for our business, for our international reputation. Is not a good one. So I don't think the government actually thought this through before it announced this suspension. It's not looking good for the country.
So what would you propose should be the best option if the government says it is hoping to reduce the level of misinformation spread via social media platforms and fake news, which it says has real-world violent consequences?
Well, the onus is not on the government per se. It should be on the media, the mainstream media, civil society, maybe an agency like the National Orientation Agency, to actually, make this work. So if you have any issue with Twitter or with people using Twitter in a way that you don't like, or you feel is violent, feel is does not make sense for the entire populace, there are ways you can there are ways you can deal with it. It won't be totally acceptable for you to ban Twitter outrightly and say that people can no longer access it in Nigeria.
So how do you think this temporary suspension now will affect a small-scale business? As we already understand, many seem to have lost a lot of money since the suspension was announced. How do you think this will affect them greatly?
In a very big way. Businesses here in Nigeria and all over the world now depend on social media, on digital media to transact their businesses, to receive information, to sell their goods and services. Most multinationals, most big companies, banks, tech companies, and the rest of them use Twitter, use social media to interact with their customers, to interact with their clients. So many young people here also depend on social media to make money for themselves. We have social media marketers, just like I mentioned. We have social media influencers. We have PR companies. We have a lot of people using social media to make money. So this ban, for instance, will affect a lot of livelihood. You see a lot of people being jobless in the last couple of days that they don't have anything to do with their businesses. Their businesses will be on a standstill, and it will look good for the country.